May I come in, sir?
Yes, come in.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Good morning, sir.
Take your seat.
Good morning. Thank you, sir.
Give a brief introduction about yourself.
Sir, my name is Aprajit. I am 22 years old. I completed my schooling from St. Francis Xavier School, Hisar, and my graduation from IIT Bombay in chemical engineering. During my graduation, I served as the infrastructure manager of TechFest, that is Asia's largest college festival. I also received an opportunity to undertake a semester exchange to Denmark during my 6th semester. My hobbies are playing lawn tennis and listening rap music.
Aparajit, you have passed out from IIT Mumbai.
Yes, sir.
And that you have won so many awards and all. Why did you not pursue your career in engineering?
Sir, engineering, from the beginning itself, there was an indirect push towards civil services since childhood. For example, my grandmother used to say, whenever I used to dress up for parties, she used to say, "Aaj mera beta collector lag raha hai." Then, when I went to my college, I talked to my seniors who were preparing for civil services. They informed me that how diverse this job is, how new challenges, new job prospects, and how can I serve my society in the best way through entering these civil services. So that is why I was inclined towards it.
But Indian bureaucracy of late has come to be known as a service of scoundrels. There is a lot of bashing from the various sections of the society. Why this perception is there, and do you agree with this perception?
Sir, I think from my experience, when I compared Denmark's administration to Indian administration, the major thing which I noticed was that their population is very small and the area is very small, due to which the complexities become very less. And moreover, India being a multicultural society, it is never possible to fulfill the aspirations of everyone, each and every person. And however, I believe that Indian bureaucracy has always been the steel frame and continues to do so. And it is there are some reforms which are needed. For example, the cases of corruptions that can be decreased by increasing transparency, or the red tapeism by getting lateral entry, increasing efficiency and competitiveness. So I believe that some reforms are needed, but it is doing very well.
But why then this bureaucracy has come in for so much of bashing? The perception is that there are lot many crooks in the bureaucracy than any other sector. Do you agree with this perception that in other sectors there are lot less crooks than the civil services?
Sir, definitely not. I believe that the cases, the inefficiencies in bureaucracy are directly on the ground level, on the field. That is why they are highlighted more. Even in the private sector, we can notice many inefficiencies. For example, the recent case of ICICI or the Satyam scam. There have been many scams in private sector also. So I don't think that only bureaucracy is suffering from that problem. The problem is a holistic, which can be only improved by better training, moral education, and by infiltrating the minds of the people towards the country through patriotism and serving towards the society.
What are the major weaknesses of Indian bureaucracy?
Sir, Indian bureaucracy today, starting from the appointment procedures, there can be a reform in that also. Because the hierarchy system, as the government has pointed out, that there is a need of specialists which need to come in through lateral entry. Because of the increasing technology in the governance sector, that is required. Other than that, there can be continuous training and there can be, instead of the hierarchy structure, there also should be a rewarding scheme by which the civil servants can be rewarded at correct times and they can be promoted.
What is the latest thinking of the government on this?
On, sir?
On the reforming civil services?
Sir, I remember that committees are being set up periodically. I remember Baswan committee was set up, which has given some recommendations. And also the lateral entry has already been started through UPSC.
Do you really think that the civil services, UPSC, which conducts the civil services examination, should recruit 1,000 or 1,200 candidates without assigning any services to them, and then give them training for 2 years, and then decide who is fit for which service?
Sir, I haven't actually analyzed this provision. I was not aware of this. But if this provision is there, in my belief, this should not happen because everyone has an inclination towards a particular service. So
but one
they should be
examination you clear, it's a matter of luck that you end up getting few marks more than your other successful candidates, and you take that advantage throughout the career. Is it justified?
Sir, I think that all these services are working towards the society. They have an equal impact, and it depends upon the person who is sitting on that chair to make an impact. It does not really matter which service are you working in. If you do best in that, I think you can make a difference from there also.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Aparajit.
Yes, sir.
So not to be defeated or undefeated.
Yes, sir.
हाँ? और बेटा आज बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है. हाँ? Do you think that you are the best?
Sir, I would not like to call myself best, but definitely I always aspire to become a better self. So I would not call myself best.
Okay, you must be endowed with some qualities, certain qualities.
Yes, sir.
What are the positive qualities?
Sir, I'm very good at making friends. I get to know people very easily and make good friends with them. Then I also, through my opportunities which I received, I think I have developed a sense of leadership. For example, in TechFest, I was the head of about 22 coordinators and handled a budget of around 1 crore. Then I think I'm good at emotional intelligence by handling the emotions of people. So these are my thoughts.
Tell me one thing, Aparajit. You have also visited Denmark.
Yes, sir.
Generally, we hear of educational exchange or cultural exchange, but it is semester exchange. What is this semester exchange?
Sir, the semester exchange was an exchange just for 1 semester. So all the courses which I had to do in IIT Bombay for 6th semester, I completed those in Denmark.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What was the duration of that semester?
4.5 months.
4.5 months.
Yes.
Tell me something about industrial development and economic growth of Haryana. Just the major landmarks.
Yes, sir. Sir, I belong to Hisar, which is called the iron and steel capital of Haryana because of the Jindal Empire, which has been present there for many years. Apart from that, there have been many investments by Indian Oil Corporation in Panipat. A refinery has been opened up. Then being closer to the NCR region, or rather being in the NCR region, Gurugram has developed as a hub for IT and services, software, BPO, and there are also educational opportunities which are opening up in Rohtak. For example, IAM has recently come up. So, and we do not have many natural resources apart from the Aravallis. So the manufacturing sector is lacking a bit. However, we have a huge potential in agriculture. For example, the food processing industries are coming up, cold chains, and the infrastructure is getting better day by day, the roadways. So these are the infrastructure.
You must have taken note of yesterday's economic survey. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Some highlights from there. So I'm not going to ask any question about that. But in context of Haryana, on the basis of economic survey, can we convert Haryana from make in India to assemble in India? Do you get my point?
Yes.
Yeah. You can answer in the context of automobile
Yes,
industry. Yes,
definitely.
tell me.
Sir, Haryana has contributed a huge part to the automobile industry also. I forgot to mention it. Because about 62% of the vehicle, the passenger vehicles are manufactured in Haryana. So I think that assembly chain is already efficient, but there should also be an integration of the backward linkages and the forward linkages so that a holistic supply chain can be incorporated. Definitely we can work on our advantage, that is the assembly line at present, but in future we definitely should focus on the backward linkage, that is on the manufacturing also.
Last question.
Yes,
regarding inner line permit.
Yes, sir.
What do you know about inner line permit?
Sir, inner line permit is is a type of permit which is required by the citizens of that country itself to visit specific places. It is so as to protect the indigenous culture and the indigenous tribes. It is currently in the states of Northeast, where
which are the states? All the 7.
No, sir. There are some states, but I'm not sure about them. The exact states. I think I have read about Nagaland. Mizoram. About these two, I'm sure, not others.
Actually, 126th Constitutional Amendment Act does not talk about Anglo-Indians. Why?
126th. Yes, sir.
Does not talk about Anglo-Indians. Why? Representation of Anglo-Indians.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why?
Sir, earlier there was a clause, a provision that 2 Anglo-Indians can be nominated to the parliament by, to the Lok Sabha by the president. However, it has now been removed.
Why? Why?
Because the demography is such that the population of Anglo-Indians has become minuscule, and also.
Are you sure of your answer?
Sir, I think I have read it in the newspaper, but I'm not exactly sure about the statistics.
Thank you.
Aparajit.
Yes, sir.
You've studied political science as your optional paper.
Yes, sir.
If you look at the current scenario, don't you think that the state-central relationship is rock bottom? There are instances where it appears that the central government is almost hostile to the states which are being ruled by a different political party than the center. What do you think? Why such a situation has occurred? So much so that even the small thing like the Republic Day parade figures more tabloids from the states being run by a party which is convenient for the center, and others are not being given adequate representation. Do you believe that in a federation, as a federalism, it is not good for the federalism? And if such a situation is not good for the federalism, what can be done about it?
Sir, I believe that the Indian federalism is dynamic in nature, and the balance of power between center and states is always dynamically adjusted as per the party in the center or in the states. Specifically in the present times, the opposition at the center has been diminished because of very minuscule numbers, due to which the opposition has come from the states. And that is why I believe that it is not rather a weakening sign of federalism, but rather a stronger point, because states are asserting themselves for their rights, which are the constitutional rights guaranteed to them by the constitution.
But the constitution actually provided for different mechanisms to resolve such center-state conflicts. One of them was the Council of States, Rajya Sabha, which was supposed to represent the interests of the state. But that too, it appears nowadays, has lost the relevance of being a house of states. It has become more of an extension of what the Lok Sabha is.
Sir, Rajya Sabha was always considered to be the second chamber of the parliament, not the secondary chamber. And I would not like to believe that it has lost its importance. It always holds a moral.
What I mean to say, it has lost its relevance as Council of State. It is still a very important house, but it has lost its relevance as Council of States.
Sir, given that the ruling party is also in majority in Rajya Sabha, there is definitely an inclination towards that. However, in Rajya Sabha there are also different examples where the members from the ruling party itself have come out to support their states and their constituencies. So,
you're coming from Haryana, yes. And Haryana is a strange case where the economic development has not led to the social development. It was generally assumed that the states will grow, the places will grow economically. Analogous development in the social sector will also be seen, but that is not the case with Haryana. Why is it so that economic development has not led to social development?
Sir, the first point would be that Haryana is a traditional society. It is a prismatic society like an onion, because the outer peel has already been modernized because of its closeness to the NCR or the economic development, as you have mentioned. However, the internal parts still remain traditional. So that is one of the reasons. Also, I would like to beg to differ, because the social development are coming. For example, we can see in the increased sex ratio, which has already reached 931 per 1,000 males, which was about 834 in the last decade, and it is just below the national average. The sportswomen are coming up from Haryana. The literacy ratio of the females is almost at par with the males. That is there is a difference of about 6 percentage points. However, that also we are on the right track on doing that. This has been majorly done due to the government schemes, which the Haryana government as well as the central government has done. So I would like to beg to differ on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aparajit,
Yes,
you spent quite some time in Denmark.
yes, ma'am.
It is called one of the Scandinavian countries.
Yes, ma'am.
Which are the other Scandinavian countries?
Ma'am, the other two are Norway and Sweden.
Not Finland?
No, ma'am, because Scandinavian countries derive their name from the Scandinavian peninsula, and these three countries are located around it.
Okay, and how about India's relations with Denmark? Where would you place them?
Ma'am, India has always looked at Europe from a multilateral perspective. So definitely the bilateral relations can be seen in that picture itself. However, in the present times, the bilateral relations have also seen a rise, especially after the 2012 roadblock, the case of the, I don't remember the name of the terrorist who was denied extradition to India, due to which there were some setbacks in the relation. But from 2016, there has been twice the visit of Prime Minister or the Foreign Minister of Denmark to India, as well as Prime Minister Narendra Modi met the Danish Prime Minister at the EU conference. So definitely there has been a push, and there have been many MOUs signed in the fields of agriculture, manufacturing, urban development, public transport, electric vehicles, and also climate change.
You've mentioned rap music in your hobbies and interests.
Yes.
Where was the origin of rap music?
Ma'am, historically, the beats and the type of music it is has been derived from the African areas. However, in the modern times, its origin was in New York. It began as a protest against the rock music, which was a kind of dominated by the whites, and it was a type of protest against racism, as the black population there in America wanted to create their own music against the rock music.
Right, and who would be your favorite rapper?
Ma'am, from India it is Divine, and from the West it is Eminem.
Eminem.
Yes.
So Eminem, usually you mention that it is, say, protest against racism. Eminem is white.
Yes.
So.
Ma'am, after that was just the beginning. After that, the rap music as a form of protest was internalized by the marginalized section, whether it was transgenders, gays, lesbians.
So who was Eminem protesting against, or is protesting against?
He was the whites who came to the rap music was mainly because during the 1970s there was an economic depression. The 1970s oil embargo, which was put on America, there were huge inequalities.
Okay, and Eminem has just come out with another album.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the name of the album? It was, I believe, released last week.
Yes, ma'am. It is called. The second last album was Revival. However, I can't recall the name of this one.
Okay. You're also a chemical engineer.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you understand by chemical warfare?
Chemical warfare. Ma'am, when the chemical weapons are used in the wars, it is called chemical warfare.
Is it always used in the wars? Okay, if it was used in wars, can you tell me which wars it was used in or has been used in ever?
Ma'am, recently there were news of the chemical weapons attacked by the Palestinians in some areas of the Gaza Strip. And I can't recall other wars in which it was used.
Asha, does India possess chemical warfare, chemical weapons?
No, ma'am. India is a signatory to the Chemical Weapon Convention, according to which there has been no use or no stockpile of the chemical weapons in India.
Okay, and any specific chemicals you can tell me which are used in this warfare?
Sorry ma'am, I am not sure.
Okay, my last question. Does the Chemical Weapons Convention that you mentioned come under the UN?
I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Okay, Aparajit.
Sir.
What is your plan B if you're not able to make in last attempt also?
Sir, this is my first attempt at civil services and I believe that I'll be able to clear it. However, if that does not happen, I have not really thought about it, but if I have to choose one right now, it would be academics because I have an interest in teaching, but I'm not sure like which type of academics. Maybe it can be the IIT, JEE, because I liked maths and physics at that time, or maybe some other thing.
Since becoming a bureaucrat is your childhood dream,
Yes, sir.
and you are giving UPSC interview, under which article this UPSC has been set up?
Sir, can I make a guess?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not exactly sure. Sir, 330.
No problem. It is Article 315.
3.
And under which article this IAS service has been constituted?
Sir, Article 324.
Article 312.
31, sorry.
Okay. Recently, you know, there was a kind of reformation in the railways. So around 8 services will be clubbed together along with the engineering services. Since you are an engineer, you must have thought about it. So this Indian Railway Management Service, what is the real political will behind creating it?
Sir, because railways itself is a huge infrastructure, it has huge infrastructure, huge employment.
No, it is ornamental, like elephant artificial teeth. I am talking about the real teeth, the real core nucleus. Thought
Sir,
about
can you
it.
please repeat the question?
What is the real intention behind creating IRMS?
Sir, I'm not really sure.
Okay, you are a student of PSIR, democracy and bureaucracy. Why this bureaucracy was detached from bureaucracy, or you can say it took birth out of democracy?
Sir, I believe that democracy and bureaucracy have to go hand in hand because in democracy also there are different there are aspirations of different people and there has to be an interest aggregator who has to determine that how
Okay,
the best outcome.
I make the story simple.
Yes, sir.
Why democracy is called as democracy and why bureaucracy is called as bureaucracy?
Sir, democracy is derived from the term democratia, which means they rule by the consent of the ruled, and demos means people.
So it is a bookish one. I think demo means demonstration. And if I talk about bureaucracy, bureau, Central Bureau of Investigation, Intelligence Bureau. So bureau word is common in all three. What is the meaning of bureau, which is different from demo?
So I'm not exactly sure.
Is anonymity anonymity practiced in democracy? Answer is negative because it is popular. Neither is neutrality is followed in democracy. So they have to be behind the curtain. What is Fabianism?
Sir, Fabianism is a type of socialism which emerged in 1960s. Fabianism, the father of Fabianism was G.D.H. Cole, and the second generation was our first.
So would you like to see bureaucracy close to the meaning of aristocracy, oligarchy, or autocracy, or any other form? The ideal most.
So if I have to compare bureaucracy to these,
Not compare. Like as a bureaucrat,
yes, sir.
ideal form of bureaucracy, that this should be the type of bureaucracy.
So I would say that it would be democracy itself.
It would be,
It would be the ideal form of bureaucracy.
no,
can-
why bureaucracy will be becoming democracy? To handle the situation, the problematic things in democracy, this bureaucracy is looking after it. Anyway, what are your demerits, two demerits over which you would like to work upon in future and you want to see that way yourself?
Sir, I think that my major weakness is that near the deadlines I become very tense and I start micromanaging things. This I noticed during TechFest, as we had a team of like about 15 people.
So what will you do and what you have done so far to improve upon?
Sir, I think the first thing which I did was to do my work and concentrate on my strengths and not indulge into
Okay, I got your
interfering
point.
in
Thank
the
you,
other matters.
sir.
I hope you are not getting nervous.
Yes, sir.
You are not getting nervous?
No, sir. It's okay.
So besides IQ, you said that you are richly endowed with EQ, emotional quotient. You are very good at making friends. In the background, how will you inculcate honesty, empathy and compassion in youth of India?
So the first thing which we will have to do is to inculcate it into the education system itself, so that starting from the primary levels, it is instilled in the minds of the children, because they are in that age very impressionable minds, and if we can do that, then it would be possible. In the youth, like for example the present, those who will become the leaders of tomorrow, there can be the teamworks or the group exercises, group discussions, and the practical knowledge through which they can learn, due to which they will able to understand the pain of others. For example, while working in a team, if one person due to some circumstances is unable to complete the work, how will the other members handle it? How will the other team members react to it? Will they able to compensate his work, or they will put the blame on him? So it will teach them empathy as well as compassion.
Okay, thank you very much, Aparajit. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So, how was your experience?
Sir, it was good. I think starting was better, but in the last I got nervous, so that was a problem.
Okay. Okay, by and large, your interview was excellent.
Thank you, sir.
So, considering the fact that this is going to be your first attempt,
Yes, sir.
it was very good. So, what the UPSC requires from candidates is mental alertness, that is the most important prerequisite. Then critical power of assimilation, various ideas, how you assimilate various ideas. So, that is second point on which your personality will be judged. And then third is clear and logical exposition.
Yes, sir.
Then your social traits and balance of judgment. These are some few areas based on which your personality will be judged. So, in half an hour's performance, we could find that you are excellent at many of the traits. Some of the areas which we would like to point out to you
Yes.
is that wherever you don't know an answer,
Yes.
be polite and firm. Sorry, you are not. I don't know the answer. I'll work on that.
Yes.
I'll study this, because you are not expected to answer our questions.
Yes.
But never ever try to hoodwink the board. Never ever try to waylay the board. Never ever try to give a wrong impression to the board.
Yes.
So it went very well. On the issue of rap, I
Yes.
think my colleague will tell you something and tell him
Yes.
something.
I was just a little disappointed that Eminem was your favorite rapper
Yes, ma'am.
and you didn't know the album. Also that given the rich history associated with rap music,
Yes,
right? You are a PSIR student and like you're mentioning, it started as a protest and so there's a political history attached to it. I think it was a chance where you could have say taken advantage and really gain good points. If you would explain the origin a little better.
Yes, sir.
Well, you should
I'll work on
expect
it.
questions on your hobbies.
Yes, sir.
It should come up. So you should be very thorough, because you are one who has indicated this
Yes,
as
sir.
your hobby.
Yes, sir.
So you are expected to be thorough in that area.
Yes, sir.
So when is your interview?
17th February, sir.
17th February.
First
Time
day.
is there for that.
Yes.
So you just brush up that. Some of the questions which other colleagues have asked, I mean, not necessarily same questions will be asked, but by and large you are a composed person.
Yes,
You try to listen to the questions, understand, and then react.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, good. When you start thinking internally, so that you should be very careful, because we could see some your lip movement and all that, as if you are trying to recollect something. Okay. It's good, but lip movement, if you can, if it is involuntarily, I have nothing to say.
Yes, sir.
But if you can control that, it's better. Otherwise, excellent performance, and God willing, you should come out with flying colors.
Thank you, sir.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.